always hit the nail on the head. So check this out, my Miami Hurricane fans, my Florida Gator fans. We are gathered here to laugh at my Florida State Seminole fans. Yes, FSU. Oh my God. Oh my God. Off season. You couldn't tell these boys nothing. You couldn't tell them nothing at all. Nothing at all. They deserve to be in the playoffs. Kirk Herbstreit is a mother. Paul Farnbaum shut that. Look. T2Y is just a goddamn hater. Man, listen, man, before we get into this, man, y'all do me a huge favor. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you ain't already. Miami fans, Florida State fans, and of course, the Florida Gator fans. Listen, Florida State, talking about taking a dump in your own bed. Talk about taking a dump in your own bed. Listen, all offseason we heard the cries, the tears. We deserve to be in the playoffs. ESPN don't like us. Oh my God, they just don't like Florida State. They kept us out of the playoffs. 63-3 did not happen. It was our third strings. Now, I told y'all, those third stringers that you saw, that team that you saw that played against Georgia Tech, that played against the Georgia Bulldogs in Capital One Orange Bowl game when you got beat 63-3. I told y'all. Ma, God dang it, I told y'all. FSU fans, I reckon I told y'all this. God dang it. I told y'all that was the team that you would see in 2024. Mike Norvell hit the transfer portal like he always do. But this time, it was not as strong. He didn't come out with these elite, top-of-the-line guys with a whole bunch of production. No, not this time around. He got a whole bunch of guys that's unproven. And today, they proved that they couldn't beat the Georgia Tech Yellow Jacket across the seas, thousands of miles away. 8 hours and like 41 is the flight from Tallahassee to Dublin. Listen, Florida State took an 8-hour and 41-minute flight. That's a whole day of work plus overtime. These boys went into overtime to lose in Dublin to Georgia Tech, and Georgia Tech got a nice little crystal trophy at the end. Dang, Florida State. God dang it. You know what's even more funny? Watching videos of guys like Charles Lessner, who's a freshman, watching the Georgia Tech players get off their bus before the game, thinking that, oh, I'm going to stare down my opponents because these guys are lesser than us and we're going to beat them. Or, here's another deal. Going down the Florida State list of recruits that's already committed to them, listening to their score prediction for the game, and all of them had Florida State blowing out Georgia Tech. My goodness. Oh my goodness. Boy, did they disappoint those recruits. My goodness. So you go over to Dublin and you shit the bed. Coming off of 13-0, then 13-1. Lost to a Georgia team, by the way. Georgia. And now you lose to Georgia Tech. So right now, you're on a 2-game losing streak to the state of Georgia. God dang it, you making us Floridians look goddamn bad. You're supposed to be the state champs. Y'all supposed to be representing the state of Florida to the best of your ability. Is this what you got? Now, all offseason, I've listened to all these so-called experts put you guys as, oh, the number one team in the ACC. Nobody's going to beat you. Arguably, you're going to the playoffs, blah, 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 this, that, and the third. And I told them, slow their roll. I told your fans that ones that's on this channel, Yeah, I troll, but I tell you the truth at the same time while I'm trolling. That's tough. Decipher it. Now, I told you guys, you're gonna fall back this year. You just went 13-1. It's either you're gonna win a natty or you're gonna fall back. Plain and simple. Now, I told you didn't have the pieces. I told you did not have the pieces. You're depending on a bunch of guys with limited amount of production. You got a bunch of transfers from Alabama who didn't play much at Alabama. You got a guy in Marvin Jones Jr. at Georgia that didn't do much at his time at Georgia. He's just an alumni kid that wanted to come home. You got Earl Little from Alabama, Miami alum kid or whatever. He didn't come to Miami, he went to Alabama, then he came to y'all, which is odd, but nonetheless, they didn't have no production. It didn't matter where they from. Jaylen Brown, LSU, not much production, and we saw that today. You even took two guys from the University of Miami within the past 2 years in Darrell Jackson. We're going to talk about Darrell Jackson. Now, Devontae Brown was a corner at Miami. Terrible. Let's be honest. He didn't fit. Hit the transfer portal. His younger brother is still at Miami. His younger brother is better than him. Plain and simple. Now, Devontae Brown goes up to Florida State as a walk-on. He's a starting free safety now. And let's not jump on this kid because he actually did pretty well today. You know, not the greatest performance, but it wasn't his fault. Oh my God. So, Darrell Jackson is supposed to be a part of this defensive line that Florida State has been selling all offseason. They had me convinced that they had a top 5 defensive line in the country. They told me they got a Patrick Payton. They told me they got a Darrell Jackson. They told me they got a guy named Farmer. Must be the guy from State Farm because I didn't see him do nothing either. I don't even think he had a tackle. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but Mr. Darrell Jackson, after skipping out on Miami and spending the whole season doing nothing, played against Georgia and did nothing, come into this game and did absolutely nothing. My boy just basically went up to Florida State and became an Instagram model. Because that's all he did was went to Florida State and transformed his body. That's it. Two tackles in this game. 2. Now, if you're watching the game, you see Georgia Tech running the ball down Florida State throat. Florida State was treated like a throat goat in this game. Yes. Georgia Tech run offense treated Florida State like a throat goat. Florida State the throat goat. Ran the ball clean down their throat. That's tough. Now, DJU, Florida State fans, remember when you guys told me that you wanted Cam Ward, but then Cam Ward said, you know what, I ain't going to Miami, I ain't going to Florida State, I'm going to the NFL. Then he changed his mind, but y'all had already picked up DJU, and then you try to convince yourself all offseason that DJU fit, and DJU was the guy, and DJU is going to get the job done. You guys don't need him to do much, and all you got to do is manage games. Okay. But here we are today. DJU. Absolutely terrible. Now, he did throw for 193 yards, but guess what? 0 interception, which is a good thing, but also 0 goddamn touchdowns. He also rushed the ball 6 times for 7 goddamn yards. Let's not even talk about your running backs. Because that first drive, you guys had me convinced, like, oh my God, look at this speed. Look at that speed. Florida State is going to be devastating to opponents this year. And then the second, third, fourth, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 drives came, and I saw none of that. None of it. Gone. Vamoose. You guys didn't even rush for 100 yards. You was at a measly 98. Terrible. Absolutely trash. Trash. Listen, Haynes King for Georgia Tech didn't have to do much. He didn't have to do much. His coach even told you. Brent Key told you, what? Run the ball. That's his words. Run the ball. Because Florida State defense can't stop a nosebleed. They can't stop a nosebleed. Run the ball. You got 11 more opponents. I'm talking to all 11 opponents. Florida State next 11 opponent. Look. Run the ball. Run the ball. Run the ball. Run the ball. Man, 24-21. You know the greatest thing about this? This game was all eyes on. All eyes on. The first game of the season. There was nothing else, no other game to watch, no other distraction. Everybody had to tune into this one. And boy, was it a good one. Was it a good one? Florida State jumped out so desperately. Desperately. You scored the first touchdown. Boom, Toafili for 28. Okay, cool. They're going to kick. No, they go for 2. Why? The first drive of the game, you scored a touchdown. Why are you going for 2? Nonetheless, you go for 2 and you get it. But here comes Georgia Tech. Here comes Georgia Tech. Run the ball. Boom. Touchdown also. Boom. They kick their field goal because they're not desperate. They don't think that the game is over that quick. And then a few things fall in favor. Your kicker kicking a 52-yarder. Then to go into the half to tie it up, he kicks another 59-yard. 59-yard. Your kicker was your MVP. Your kicker. Your MVP. But your defense, your linebackers are terrible. Basuda, garbage. Listen, I think Lundy threatened to go in the portal. You should have let him. You should have let him. Omar Graham, my guy. My guy. My guy. And another guy that y'all probably should keep off the field listen, I'm going to stay away from that. Nose. Nose. That dude, man, oh my God. Listen, if this is the team that Florida State is parading for the rest of the year, Miami for the dub. Miami by 30, goddammit. Florida for the win. Clemson for the win. Let me see, who else on there? Oh, Notre Dame for the win. And I'll probably throw SMU in there for the win. That's tough. Florida State, after watching this one, I'm sorry, but you're not who you said you are. Hopefully this humble pie tastes good. Now, for all you fans that went over to Dublin, let's see, about 5,000 probably is what it's going to run you for this ass whooping you just went to watch your team win. Your team just won an ass whooping. That's what they want. They want an ass whooping. Now, Georgia Tech, on the other hand, they celebrate. Because they went over there on a mission. They went over there on a mission to show the world that, hey, y'all can write us off all you want, making us a 13 and a 10-point underdog, but we come to play. We come to play. We got so much production on the offense and the defense returning that we're going to go out there and we're going to play hard-nosed football and we're going to bring home the win, and that's what they did. Hell, when they showed up to Dublin, I think the owner of the stadium and all those guys already told them they was going to win. They told them they was going to win. They believed in them because y'all was all hype. I've seen videos of Florida State fans, though, and Florida State players over there dancing. They doing all kind of Irish dance. Kind of made me want to learn the Irish dance. But you know what? They did it before the game. Georgia Tech did it after the game. And you already know what they say. The man that laughed last, he laughed the best. They dance moves were better than y'all's. Oh, my God. Starting off the season, 0-1. Number 10 team in the country, my butt. You did not deserve to be in the top 10. Shout out to Paul Feinbaum. He was right about y'all. You do not deserve to be in the top 10. And as a matter of fact, I think I'm going to go along with what Feinbaum said, because I've been saying it myself. You guys will not finish the season ranked. So, Florida State fan, buckle up. It's going to be a long season for you guys. Oh, man, you got to love it. If you're a Florida fan, or you're a Florida State fan, or you're a Miami fan, this is a channel for you all season we going in. But Florida State fans, I'm sorry. It's not going to be a bright future ahead of you guys. It's going to get a little dark before you see some light again. Now, Miami fans and Florida Gator fans, laugh it up and enjoy this week because we play each other next week. And one of us is going to be happy and another one is going to be sad. That's tough.